So in 2006, I'm in this video store and I'm just killing time on my lunch hour. And I'm going past the new release section in the DVD area. And I stop in my tracks because there's this metal case with this blue robotic lion staring back at me. And the word Voltron is written on the top. And I kind of flipped out because this was the biggest cartoon of my childhood, my favorite show to come home on weekday afternoons and watch after school. And I hadn't seen it in 20 years. So without asking any questions, I didn't hesitate. I just bought it right there immediately. And that's really the the magic that Voltron has captivated me with since I was a child. But what I didn't know at the time was Voltron has not aged well. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's back up a second.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe.
It was 1984, and there was a major vacuum left in the wake of Return of the Jedi and the Star Wars trilogy the year before. Ghostbusters had come out, but no toys accompanied it. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was hated, and the toy line was canceled. Now, He-Man was into his second year, and it was waning to make room for She-Ra. G.I. Joe was into its third year as a toy line, and there'd been a second cartoon miniseries, but it just wasn't my thing yet. Of all the cartoons that were on at that time, Voltron was where it was at. 5 space explorers from the planet Earth travel to the planet Eris, where they're looking for the legendary robot Voltron, which is composed of 5 massive mechanical lions. They're trying to defeat King Zarkon, who's the ruler of this conquering empire. Every episode is pretty much the same structure. Zarkon creates this evil Godzilla-scale monster to take out the planet Eris, and the pilots form Voltron and hand the monster his ass. Is it any wonder that a 6-year-old kid like me was into this show? I didn't think so. When I put the DVD on the screen for the first time, I was devastated. The iconic 5-lion robot holds up, and so does the musical score, but little else. The dialogue is inane.
It'll be hard to make friends here, but that's what we gotta do. Help each other.
The dubbing is bad.
Got a cheese sandwich?
Some of the female characters are played by men, pitching their voices higher.
Madam, please, they're coming.
One of the pilots of Voltron, Sven, is needlessly Swedish, and he couldn't look less like a Swede in his Dr. No outfit with a dark-haired mullet, and he's got this terrible stereotypical accent.
Let's put our heads together and work out an escape plan.
This guy looks Swedish. And this guy. Why couldn't this character have been British, or Australian, or Russian?
I'm thinking.
Then there's Pidge. Is it man or woman? It wears a green sailor outfit with western fringe, Harry Potter glasses, and has a really annoying voice, with permed hair secured by a hair barrette. The amount of androgyny here makes Elijah Wood's Frodo Baggins downright manly by comparison. Plus, my suspension of disbelief that any and everything that gets killed is conveniently a robot just isn't getting there anymore. There's one line from the intro in particular that sums up the confusion that is Voltron.
As Voltron's legend grew, peace settled across the galaxy.
So there was peace across the galaxy. I assume the Milky Way, as in the next breath they mention Earth.
On planet Earth, a galaxy alliance was formed, together with the good planets of the solar system.
Together with the good planets of the solar system implies that it isn't the galaxy, but the 8 planets here. So I guess Zarkon is from Neptune or something.
They maintained peace throughout the universe.
No, then they mention the entire universe at the end. So it's not clear if they're referring to the Earth, the Milky Way galaxy, or the entire universe. But given the fact that they constantly refer to him as Voltron, defender of the universe, I'm just going to go with the latter and block everything else out, because otherwise my mind is going to do a standing backflip into a pile of rusty knives. Fortunately, fate has provided redemption for Voltron, because the DVDs reveal that Voltron is actually a re-edited version of a Japanese show called Beast King Go Lion. The show only ran for 1 season in Japan, and it proved to be unpopular. When World Events Productions wanted to license some of Toei Animation's properties, a mistranslation resulted in them receiving a tape of Beast King Go Lion instead of another show. That accident gave us Voltron. A few years after the Voltron DVD release, World Events worked their magic again and brought us for the first time the original Beast King Go Lion on DVD. Upon watching Go Lion, it is easy to see why World Events thought it would be great for kids. It has people getting whipped, maimed, stabbed, decapitated, tortured, crucified, there's implied rape, demonic frogs killing puppies, blood raining from the sky that sets everyone on fire, ninja commandos that kill women and children, villains drinking the blood of the people they conquer, forcing the conquered to drink the blood of their own people, cannibalism and even forced cannibalism as enslaved people are made to eat their own dead, giant robots crushing people and eating them as food, characters willing to blow themselves up for a cause, and plain outright suicide. Beast King Go Lion is one of the most messed up animated shows ever. And that effed up legacy is only enhanced by the fact that it became an American youth phenomenon just because of a few thin edits. As Beast King Go Lion tells the story, 5 space pilots from Earth are captured by Emperor Dibazal and escape before they are tortured to death and turned into stew for the death black beastmen that make up Dibazal's galactic army. Not long into the series, one of the lion pilots is killed by Dibazal's sorceress, and the princess must take his place. Then Dibazal's psychotic half-breed son, Sincline, arrives and rapidly develops a sickening Oedipal obsession with the princess because she looks just like his dead human mother. This is a show that is depraved in the details, it's epic in scope, and it's heavy on emotional depth. We actually get to delve into Sincline's psyche through his dreams, and we see his father becoming aware that his son is slowly going insane as his mind rots away. Meanwhile, the pilots are subjected to their own traumas as they struggle with the death of their friend Shirogane, have continual run-ins with the princess's bureaucrat Rabel, who is resistant to their inclusion into the royal household, and are forced to watch the Earth die in the aftermath of a nuclear war. Some of these elements are touched on in a less adult way in Voltron. Sincline, called Lotor, is trying to overthrow his father and is also obsessed with the princess. Sven, originally called Shirogane, is wounded, and the princess takes over the Blue Lion. The violence and genocide is removed, of course, as is Earth's destruction. However, the one glaring omission from Voltron is any backstory or development of the giant robot itself. The show simply says it is a legendary robot from uncharted regions of the universe that was separated into 5 lions after being tricked by Zarkon's evil sorceress. I'm assuming the writers mean that Voltron came from way back in the past in uncharted space, not that the show is set in this legendary past, because I'm fairly certain Earth and the solar system are well-charted regions of our universe. This is one of the most fascinating aspects of Beast King Go Lion, the backstory of the giant robot called Go Lion. In the Japanese mythology, it is unknown exactly where Go Lion came from or who built him, but he is an ancient force in the universe that grew so powerful, destroying cosmic demons, he becomes an almost unstoppable and arrogantly destructive demigod who challenged the goddess of the universe herself. As a result, the goddess of the universe punishes Go Lion for his hubris, taking away his free will, splitting him into the 5 lions, and forcing him to serve humankind for the rest of eternity. To the pilots and the people of the galaxy, it is just a legend until they are shocked to learn it may actually be true. Go Lion is rife with narrative depth, and it's exceedingly well made from beginning to end, with only a few trip-up episodes. Watching it made me realize why I loved Voltron so much as a kid, because I was young enough to disregard its juvenile downgrade, and at the same time I recognized subconsciously that it had something in it that other cartoons didn't have. It had a dramatic arc. It had a meta plot that you could follow from beginning to end and wanted to invest in. Voltron, in its American form, was the result of 2 things going on in the country: the general American prejudice towards animated shows being only for children, and an intense child safety and anti-violence sentiment that had been running through the country since the 1970s. Voltron's merchandising and toy lines would also be victims of this.